I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
Good racing there with you guys.
Buckle up and strap in. It's going to get wild. First week of the playoffs. It's Wild Card Weekend. Here on the QSR Simulations Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series. And what better place to do it than Dover, Delaware? Right in Miles' backyard. This should be a thrilling race. Sanders Racing 120 here at Dover. I'm your host and producer, Morgan Cook, and you are watching V-Speed all season long here. The QSR Simulations Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a moment of the racing action. Let's have a look at the Dover Motor Speedway, 1 mile in length, but it drives so much faster than that. You dive into these corners, the elevation change is something in the range of 30 feet that you drop down into the corner and rise up out of it. The walls off of turn 2 and 4 are so close to the racetrack that it's very easy to hit one and ruin your day. The truck will drive naturally free. You'll want to spin off every corner. It is such a difficult racetrack. Built in 1969, it's been challenging drivers every step of the way. And oh yeah, that 40-foot fiberglass statue of Miles the Monster outside of turn 4, that's about as nice as this racetrack will be. And it's a tough one. Absolutely is. 24 degrees of banking in the corners, 9 degrees on the front stretch. That is 2 degrees less than the corners at Martinsville, the same as the corners in Indianapolis. That's why this is a self-cleaning racetrack. Accidents that start up against the wall usually end up against the inside wall and take all the other drivers with them. We talked about Wild Card Weekend, and why is it Wild Card Weekend? Well, that is because Marty Phillips has withdrawn his name from the playoff eligibility. Notice his name is grayed out in the 4th position, meaning we are going to do something a little bit different, a little bit special this week. We are going to have 3 drivers race head-to-head while the other 12 run for the first week of the playoffs. Quentin Stewart, Patrick McPeak, and Christian Rodrigo will race head-to-head against each other. Highest finisher will join the other 11 in the playoffs next week when they travel to the Phoenix International Raceway. So we'll keep a special eye on Stewart, McPeak, and Rodrigo tonight, as one of them will claim their spot in the playoffs here for the Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series inaugural season. And look at the schedule ahead. We've completed everything on the left and middle columns. We're here at the top of the right-hand column, Dover International Speedway. Next week, on to Phoenix, then Kansas, Vegas, and Talladega to crown the champion for the first ever season of the Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series. Now, let's roll to our grid. A little bit early We can talk about the pole winner nonetheless. The Dark Ace Digital Pole Award winner is going to be Daniel Molnix in the 2. Looking to carry on the hot streak he's been on recently and really all season long. Driver we always expect up at the front during these QSR races, whether it be in the Truck Series or whether it be in the Gen 4 Series that you will see here on Thursdays. Daniel Molnix, your pole winner. Appreciate Dark Ace Digital for sponsoring the Pole Award all season long. Just about to hit the grid here. Here is what the starting grid looks like. On the pole, Daniel Molnix, we just saw him, his teammate Ronnie Joyner alongside. Third spot will be Trenton Wilkin in the 11. Jesse Gordon going to start in the 4th spot. 5th for the moment will belong to Carter Linz, the only multi-time winner this season. Will somebody change that today? Ryan Philbrick going to start 6th in the 06. 7th position, Quentin Stewart. In the 6th, Austin Thomas will start in 8th. 9th position, Patrick McPeak, also going for one of those playoff spots. Jason Foskey rounds out your top 10 in the 29th. 11th position, Brent Allen in the 13. Marty Phillips, who this should be the last week he joins us, will start in 12th. 13th, Stephen McGough in the 83. Christian Rodrigo, the third of the drivers, going for that final spot. He starts 14th. 15th position, Shane Ferguson in the 21. Reed Sanders, tonight's sponsor, will start in 16th position in the 4. 17th belongs to John Briel in the 00. Chase Berry in 18th, first driver not taking time. Derek McMurtry in the 48 will start 19th. Ethan Wisnowski 20th. 21st, race control Mike Petrin. He will not take the grid. Clay Nelson starts 22nd. 23rd will be Austin Dowdy. CJ Gates alongside, completing row number 12. And last driver on the grid will be Tyler Autry in the 81. That's a look at your starting grid. Now let's get to the racetrack. Up here on the blimp, high above the Dover Motor Speedway. And no, that little dirt track in the middle, that is not for stock cars, that is for horses. This racetrack, originally built with a horse track in the middle, was once called Dover Downs Speedway because of the horse racing track in the middle. Very unique facility, this Dover Motor Speedway. Drivers just now getting the command to roll off of the pit lane. Should see it in mere moments. The pace truck pulling off of pit road. There he goes. Front row will follow, second behind them, and they're on, and so forth. Let's have a look at your race analysis as we finish our final pace lap. 120 laps here tonight. Pit road speed is 35 miles an hour. Very difficult pit road to get onto. Quite possibly the most difficult in all of stock car racing. 4 tire sets are available tonight. 2 green-white checker attempts if we need them. You can go between 78 and 84 laps on fuel, meaning this will be a one-stopper. iRacing fixed setup as always, and no fast repairs. You got what you got here tonight at Dover. Molnix, Joyner on the front row. Pace truck should be making that swipe down to the left to hit the pit lane. Green flag in hand of the starter as they roll into the restart zone for the first time tonight. We are racing at Dover. So far, so good after one lap for Daniel Molnix and the rest of this field. See it single file out very quickly. Quentin Stewart, the first driver, 2 by 2. Oh, we got a spin in the back. Tyler Autry's around. Somehow saved that 81. That is absolutely worth a replay. Let's go back and catch it. This 81 was absolutely sideways. Look at that save. Goodness gracious. Great job. Back to the live shot now. Ronnie Joyner has taken the lead from Daniel Molnick's first lead change of the day is going to happen on lap number 2. 110 laps, apologies, not 120. We'll get that fixed here shortly. Single file. For the majority of the field, I don't see anybody single file. One of your playoff drivers, Patrick McPeak. Potential playoff drivers, Patrick McPeak. Trying to catch up to the 6. That's going to be the battle to watch all night. The 6, the 61, and the 33. They're all within about 5 trucks right now. Which one of them will join your other 11 and make their way into the playoffs and fight for a championship? So far, so good for Ronnie Joyner. Daniel Molnick's following right behind him. Trenton Wilkin. We saw these 3 go at it in the QSR Gen 4 series not too long ago here at Dover a few weeks ago. They finished, I believe, in the reverse of this order. I think 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 4, something of that nature. All very quick that day. Marty Phillips losing a spot to Patrick McPeak, who's on the move. This is the only side-by-side battle throughout the field right now. McPeak and Thomas. As Gates just got around Dowdy as they scrap for the 19th position. But to be 3 wide here, Murchie on the bottom. Can he clear the 8 of Austin Dowdy? Not yet. Maybe into turn number 1. Such a unique racetrack, such a unique racing line. You don't want to wrap the apron. You saw the 48 just touch the apron. That is not what you want. He is now going to clear. And off the back bumper there is Austin Dowdy. Fierce battle for 23rd as well. Clay Nelson, John Briel scrapping for the final position on the racetrack. Side by side off of 4. A little outside wall contact for Clay Nelson. Going to give that spot up to John Briel. Briel will take it in the 0-0. A little further up the field, Marty Phillips still rides in the 10th position. Christian Rodrigo trying to make a pass on Brent Allen, who is quite possibly the most difficult driver to pass in this league. Certainly one of the most difficult I've ever raced against. As Rodrigo currently in 13th, is 3rd of the 3 potential playoff drivers. Quentin Stewart, Patrick McPeak currently 7th and 8th on the racetrack. Will Rodrigo join them? Does he have the pace to join them? So many questions we're asking ourselves early in this race. Philbrick all over the back of Carter Linz as Linz loose off of turn 4. Little kiss to the outside wall. Philbrick saying thank you for that position. His inside is likely where you're going to want to be here. Saw the 10 have a bit of a moment. Off of turn 4, who's going to get the spot? Dead even still. Still can't decide who's going to take the 5th position. Be Linz on the top, roll up to the 06 on the bottom. Looks like right now it's going to be the 06, give him the edge. They both sail it down to turn number 3. Nobody willing to give in yet. Lap 15 of 110. Linz on the outside wall just a bit. Thomas able to get around Marty Phillips again. That's for the 10th spot. Outside wall again for Carter Linz. He's pressing a little too hard right now. I need to back it down just a touch. It's Phillips all over the back bumper. Of the 35. You can hear the throttle management. And just how hard this place is to drive. Wisnowski's having an issue. At 5. Heavy contact to the inside wall. Let's go back and look at it. Just missed that ever so slightly. He's racing with Reed Sanders, race sponsor. And off of turn 4. Things do not go well for him. Loose off the corner. Bang. Behind him, Dowdy wanted to follow him. Caution is out on the speedway. Caution is out on the speedway. Where was it? I just saw a driver on the apron, possibly Clay Nelson. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. See the 34. I don't think he is the caution. Caution's already out at this point. I don't see anyone who... Oh, the 14, possibly, CJ Gates. Racing the 46. I don't see anything that would make me think this was a caution, though. I don't see anything. They're just slowing down. Interesting. I'm not sure what this was. Looks like everybody is still righted. Interesting. And back to the live shot here. Everyone's on pit road. Daniel Mullen's going to lead them down. It very well could have been that Wisnowski incident that caused the caution. We were a few seconds away. Who's going to win the race off pit road for the first time tonight? This gets you very close to making it to the end. Molnick's going to win the race. Joyner behind him, and Wilkin in third just as they entered the pit lane. Not a lot of movement throughout the grid quite yet. Top 4 stayed the same. Few drivers have gained a spot. Biggest mover in the race so far, Shane Ferguson, who only took 2 tires on this pit stop. TJ Gates has also gained 5 positions. Driver losing the most spots, Ethan Wisnowski, as well as Brent Allen. Struggling so far here at Dover. Might have a chat with a driver here later in the race. So far, let's just have a look at your race recap. 1 caution, 2 lead changes so far. Molnix and Joyner, the 2 drivers to lead. Molnix has led 5. Joyner has led 15 of the first 20 circuits. These 2 very content to just ride first and second. They may just do that for the final 90 laps of this race. Two very difficult drivers to get around in this series. Believe me, I have tried many times. I don't think I've ever passed either of them on the racetrack. They are good at what they do, some of the best at what they do. Bring up the points as the pace lights are still on the pace truck. See Molnix is leading the points. Joyner is 5th, separated by 5 positions. And I want to draw your attention in between those 2 yellow lines. Quentin Stewart, Patrick McPeak, Christian Ruck-Riegel. They are 6, 8, and 13 at the moment. Still anybody's chance to make it into the playoffs and get that position. Reed Sanders looks like he's on pit road. He has maybe just left the session. That could have been our caution. He's 1 lap down. So 23rd and 24th will take an early exit from tonight's event. Reed Sanders, Ethan Wisnowski will finish 23rd and 24th tonight. Tyler Autry, last driver on the lead lap in 22nd place. To go back up front. Roll off turn number 2. Pace truck brings them down at an absolute crawl here. It feels like you should be able to go faster than this 40-mile-an-hour pace speed here, but it is a short track after all. It is only 1 mile in length, even though it feels so much longer. Pace truck will steer that thing to the left. There it goes into the restart zone. Mullins to take the high line this time. Will that pay off for him? So we are back racing here at Dover. Side by side throughout this field. Really riding on board with Clay Nelson. You can see everybody from about Marty Phillips in 11th on back is side by side. Oh, we got a big wreck. Regal's involved. Christian Regal is in it. Big spin for the 33. What would have caused that incident? Let's go back and find out. Racing beside Mago. Got Brent down right behind him. Foskey in front of him. Comes off the corner. Just does not give the 83 enough room. Spun around. I don't think the damage is going to be too bad on that 33. I think he will be all right to continue on in this race. A little bit of right front damage, but I'm thinking that's probably only about 30 to 40 seconds of repairs. What that is going to do is put a big dent in him chasing down Quentin Stewart and Patrick McPeak, who are beside each other right now. There's the 61 running the high line. Quentin Stewart in the 6 on the bottom. As we pace for the second time today. Lazy spin down the front stretch for driver 33, Christian Regal. You'll lose track position, but I don't believe it's any worse than that. Daniel Mulnix continues to lead. Let's do a through your field. This is a good time for it. Daniel Mulnix, the leader. Ronnie Joyner in second. That's already been well documented. Trenton Wilkin in third. This driver knows how to get around the Dover Motor Speedway better than most. Jesse Gordon right behind him. That familiar number 10, Ryan Philbrick, in the 5th spot. Up 1 from where he started in 6th. Carter Linz and him have switched positions. The Silver Bullet 26 machine currently in the 6th spot. Quentin Stewart in 7th. Patrick McPeak is in 3rd. Austin Thomas, Quentin Stewart in 7th. McPeak in 8th. I don't know where I got 3rd from. Austin Thomas in 9th in the 35. Shane Ferguson is 10th. 2 tires so far working for driver 21. Marty Phillips down to 11th in the 50. Jason Foskey is 12th in the 29. Brent Allen 13th in the 13. Chase Berry is 14th. CJ Gates 15th. Derek McMurtry in the 16th position currently. Austin Dowdy after a slide off of turn 4 is 17th. John Briel up to 18th. Tyler Autry now 19th after a massive slide on lap number 1. Stephen Mago is 20th. Clay Nelson 21st. Last driver on the lead lap was the cause of the final of this previous caution. Christian Regal in 22nd. Ethan Wisnowski has joined the racetrack again. Reed Sanders is 23rd. Wisnowski in 24th position. That's a quick look through your field. 26 laps in. 210 here in Dover, Delaware. Miles has already claimed a few trucks tonight. Curious to see what this one looks like. I don't think the 5 is actually hurting too bad, all things considered. Definitely was worse when he nailed the inside wall off of turn 4 down the front stretch. Let's continue to pace here. We're going 1 to green this time. Very interesting racetrack. The banking is so extreme at this place, and this might be an interesting kind of look at how you drop into these corners. I get a better sense here. A driver like Marty Phillips, who's on the bottom of the racetrack, will see it when they roll out of turn number 2 here, is just how much you rise up out of the banking. There is absolutely nothing like this place anywhere else on Earth. See big raise right there. Gets the car very light, wants to spin, doesn't want to turn. And the outside wall is not too far away. It's a controlled slide pretty much all the way around this racetrack. But you're doing it at 160 miles an hour. It's a little unnerving sometimes. But not for these drivers. As once again, green flag in the hand of the starter. Molnix and Joyner into the restart zone on the front row. Green again here at Dover. Cars in the outside wall off of turn number 2. Carter Lynn's definitely got a piece of it. Joyner under fire from the 10. That's Jesse Gordon. Saw Tyler Autry make a move. Around Derek McMurtry went straight to the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Larson inspired number 81 on the move. Quinn Stewart hunting down. Driver in 6th position. And Wilkin will try and get a spot back from Gordon. Lost it on the restart. What can the 11 do? Off of turn 4, able to close in as we got a battle for the lead. Joyner to the inside of Molnix. He will take that spot easily. He's off of turn number 4, side by side for 3rd. Gordon and Wilkin, 10 and 11. What's it look like? Off of the final corner. Oh, it's a self-clear for the 11. What does Jesse Gordon think about that? Into turn 3. Not able to do anything with your newly minted 3rd place driver, Trenton Wilkin. Big gap behind Austin Thomas and Marty Phillips. 1.3 seconds back to Brent Allen. Something happened back here. Caused a shakeup. Christian Rodrigo on pit road again. This very well may end his chances of making it to the playoffs this evening. As the battle is still right here for the 7th position. Stewart and McPeak nose to tail. The final 2 drivers standing. Who could point their way into the playoffs tonight. This entire field is essentially nose to tail following Ronnie Joyner. Brent Allen is catching up slowly but surely. Austin Thomas, that is the top 10 position. Get off the rear bumper. Got a mirror full of Jason Foskey. As the trio behind him. Tyler Autry tries to go for a pass, going to catch the outside wall instead. Miles is looking for a snack, and he tasted a little bit of twisted sheet metal there. A lot of wheel in the 81. Not sure what's going on there. I don't know if something's broken. His right front is turned a lot more than every other truck on the racetrack. See if we can ride on board here. What's going on with the 81? He's lost a ton of time. Oh yeah, lots of wheel in it. Oh boy. That is not sustainable. This is the outside wall again. Autry's in trouble. Stuck to the outside wall. He's going to fall back. The last driver on the lead lap was just fighting for 12th. That's how fast things happen here at Dover. Joyner and Molnick still 1-2. Trent Wilkin in third. Jesse Gordon, Carter Linder, top 5. As this is the battle to be right here. 11th through 14th. Separated by about 0.3 of a second. Autry's on pit road. As Chase Berry tries to take a spot away from Jason Foskey. Looks like he will do such a thing. It's Philbrick. Worked around Carter Linz finally. We've only been trying to do that for 40 laps. Linz all the way to the back bumper, gets loose off the corner. Will not be able to get to the quarter panel of the 06. McPeak and Stewart going at it. Stewart able to fend off McPeak this time around as they still battle for 7th. Marty Phillips hanging around in 9th spot. And a great battle. Great view of this battle in front of him. Winner this season. Texas, I believe, is where Marty Phillips was able to get his win. Trying to pass further back in the field. Ferguson getting past those two tires, not agreeing with the 21. Restarted up in the top 10, now down to 19th. Just got passed by Stephen Mago and John Briel. As Molnix has caught up to Joyner again. The gap, less than a truck length. The 2 is there. The inside, around the 24 he goes. Out of turn 2, who's going to get that spot? Looks like it's going to be Daniel Molnix. As we look through the entire field, everyone on the racetrack. Molnix clears easily. It's now 2/10 his lead over Ronnie Joyner. Tyler Autry out of the race. He is 6 laps behind the pace. Christian Rodrigo is 12 behind the pace. Reed Sanders 25 laps down. Ethan Wisnowski is 29 laps down. Joyner is fading fast. What's going on here with driver 24? Truck is free. And McPeak and Stewart side by side. He's going to try the high line this time. Will he be able to get around the CEO? Yes, he will. Cleared off at turn number 4. Move Patrick McPeak up into control position. 7th spot. Controlling his own destiny into the playoffs. Wilkin getting around Joyner. Clears off of 4 as Joyner's continuing to fall back. He's got 2 more. hungry drivers right behind him, Jesse Gordon, Ryan Philbrick. Very close to driver 24. To the inside. Jesse Gordon might lose a spot to Philbrick even before they catch Ronnie Joyner, who is really struggling with the handle of that 24. It has gone away big time. It's off of turn 2. These three drivers stacked up on top of each other. Carter Lynn's moving into the frame in 6th position. They all chase Daniel Mulnex, but look at this gaggle of cars here. Look at Joyner sideways. You can read the whole number on the side of the 24. What does Carter Lynn see off the roof? Sees the outside wall. Felt it too. Up one truck. It's a great view of the 10, just about losing it on the bottom. Joyner going to defend the spot again. Another slide out of turn 2. We're closing into halfway, only a few laps away from it. Should see green flag pit stops, potentially. I don't believe any driver in the field can make it with the exception of Christian Rodriguez, who's still on pit road. Everyone else going to be short on the fuel tank. Battle for 3rd heats up. Mulnex is out by 9/10 over Trenton Wilkin, who is 1.3 ahead of this battle. There's nobody in this trio can get around the 24. Philbrick has tried. Gordon has tried. Quentin Stewart and Austin Thomas are having a scrap, and they got a whole bunch of trucks following very closely behind them, including Marty Phillips, Brent Allen, Chase Berry, CJ Gates, and Jason Foskey not too far behind. Ferguson and Dowdy are scrapping for 18th. Battles all over this racetrack. And Stewart is holding them up. Working hard inside the 6. Just not quite able to keep the tires under it, but good news, pit stops are on the way. Slide off of 4. Still 2x2 for the 9th position. Chase Berry's going to fall in line behind Allen as Joyner and Philbrick continue to fight side by side. They drag race down the straightaways. They pull even in the corners. Nobody can get an inch here at Dover. Both of these drivers out of control loose. As Joyner once again pulls ahead into turn number 1, running that extreme high line here. Gets the launch off the corner. Off the rear bumper, he's going to clear the 06 once again. Patrick McPeak has caught this group. He is running in the 7th position. And sees a few of them right in front of him. McPeak gets loose, in fact. Saw him pull way out of line. Not going to hurt him too bad. Allen and Berry going to work each other over. Battles on this racetrack are constant. These two have fallen 4 seconds back of your leader Daniel Mulnex as they continue to scrap side by side. Really incredible racing. Brent Allen just lost a bunch of spots as the 14 had a massive slide through the corner. What happened here? Look at this. It's not over yet. 3 wide. They're wrecking. There goes CJ Gates. 14's around. Caution should come out shortly. There it is. What just happened? This is craziness. Further back in the field. Oh, there it was right there. We saw, let's go back a little further. We're right on board with Brent Allen. We saw somehow Barry able to clear him. It's like right here. Barry's going to get the spot a little bit high for the 13. You'll see here he catches the back bumper of the 45 and just about took out the 6. And then in front of them, Chase Berry got on the side of Quinn Stewart, had to try and save it. And there goes CJ Gates around. And that is Dover at its best right there. Back to the live shot, every driver on pit road except for Clay Nelson. Interesting strategy. He did pit later than everybody else, but I still don't believe he can make it to the end on fuel. Wilkin got out in front of Molnix. Molnix with a slow stop. 15.1 in the pit box. Trenton Wilkin with a 14.4. 7/10 of a second will do it every time. So new second place driver, Trenton Wilkin. Daniel Molnix down to third as Clay Nelson leads his first laps, I believe, of the season. He may hit pit road here. Yes, he will hit pit road. So he will no longer lead a lap. Trenton Wilkin will be your new leader for the first time today. And once it cycles through, that'll be lead change number 5. This is the third caution of the night, just past halfway. Every driver should be able to make it on fuel from here. Be about 20 to the good, if my math is correct. Bring up our race analysis. Just to be sure on that, yeah, about 78 to 84 laps. We should be plenty good on fuel to the end of the race here. 4 tire sets available. I don't believe anyone has used more than 2 of those sets. Most drivers have been on pit road twice. Clay Nelson been on pit road 4 times. So has Stephen Mago, been on pit road 4 times as well. Most drivers, it's a set number 2 of 4, meaning you got another one left for sure. In case there is a late race restart. Let's have a chat with the 61 if we can find him. Believe that's him right there. We'll see if first off if we're going 1 to green here. Don't want to bother a driver if we're going 1 to green. Looks like we are, so we'll maybe catch him on the next caution. Don't want to throw someone off their game as we're pacing, getting ready for a restart. But Wilkin, your leader. Molnix in second. Philbrick and Joyner, third and fourth. Jesse Gordon rounds out the top 5. Linz, McPeak, Marty Phillips, Austin Thomas, Quentin Stewart, your top 10. As they run here, working lap 64 at Dover. You thank Sanders Racing for sponsoring this one, making sure that we are able to put on a broadcast here on V-Speed. And if you haven't already, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification icon so you don't miss a moment of the racing action you can't get anywhere else. Nowhere else can you find the QSR Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series, except for right here on V-Speed. Make sure to check it out for the rest of the season, as things are about to get wild here. Wilkin and Molnix lead the field to green, and we're off once again at Dover. Drag race, it's dead even. Into turn number 1, Wilkin must have missed a shift because the 2 just launched around him. And the battle's on for the lead. Crossover maneuver. The 11 to the inside of Daniel Molnix. Who ends up the leader off of turn 4? It looks like it's going to be Molnix. It will be. He will clear. This top 3 can't quite figure out who's going to lead this race. First side-by-side battle, Marty Phillips, Austin Thomas. This is for the 8th position. Right behind Patrick McPeak, right in front of Quentin Stewart. Wilkin all over the back bumper of Molnix again. What can the 11 do? Closes in, center of the corner. He's going to give him a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a how do you do. I'm sure Daniel Molnix knows that Trenton Wilkin is there, but now he knows for sure and knows he's willing to put the bumper to him. As they pull ahead, about 0.6 over Ronnie Joyner. Lead not settled yet. As we complete lap number 68. The gap, about half a truck length. As they dive into the banking at turn 3, closes right onto the back bumper. A little bit arrow loose for the 11 in second. Having some connection issues as well. Molnix can breathe easy for a little while. What happened to the 11? Where'd he go? Did he disappear out of the session? I don't see him anymore. I think Trenton Wilkin has taken early exit from this race. We'll call it a motor failure. Ronnie Joyner can breathe easy now, but that was close for him. And Stewart's going to get around Austin Thomas. Back to the 8th position for driver number 6. See if he can chase down the one in front of him, Patrick McPeak. 0.6 of a second separate Quentin Stewart from a playoff bid. Tell he's driving extremely hard. Another driver doing his best back in the field. Here's Austin Dowdy. Always one with the driver cam. Appreciate him. Party's here. Up to 17th position from 23rd for Austin Dowdy. Behind him, Brent Allen fighting with Clay Nelson. I just heard somebody hit the outside wall. 46 and 48. Battle for 11th. It's the 10th position, in fact. McPeak and Phillips for 6th. That probably got closer than Marty Phillips was looking for. McPeak to the inside. Not quite enough. Off of turn number 2. It's a drag race down the back. 50's got the momentum. They sail it off into turn number 3 through the center of the corner. One wraps the bottom, one runs the middle. In the gap, about a tire length, tire radius, whatever you want to call it. It's not much. Here at Dover, 61's going to clear, crossover coming. No dice for Marty Phillips. As Molnix has pulled out to a 0.2 of a second lead, but Joyner has reeled him back in, slowly but surely. Philbrick keeping in touch with the leaders as well. Carter Linz in 4th and Jesse Gordon in 5th. How many times have I said those top 5 this season? The newcomer to the party is Patrick McPeak. Rising at the right time of the season, Marty Phillips in the 7th position, going to give up that playoff spot tonight. Quentin Stewart trying to get to the 61 to be able to put himself in the playoffs. Derek McMurtry has moved up 10 positions, easily the biggest mover of the race, to the 9th spot. Austin Thomas currently runs in 10th and is in a scrap from 10th all the way back to Austin Dowdy in 17th, all nose to tail. One slip up, many of these drivers, there's a lot of positions lost. Back on even tires for Shane Ferguson. He's lost one spot overall, but gained quite a few from where he was running at the end of that last run. Is John Briel's going to get past here by CJ Gates into the outside wall for the 0-0. Blocks Jason Foskey. What an aggressive move for John Briel. Somehow made it work. Goodness gracious, that could have been caution number 4 of the day. It was not, luckily. We stay green here at Dover. Now we're inside of 30 laps remaining, 30 more miles for these drivers to determine who's going to win here tonight. Who's going to make it into the playoffs? Who's going to be driver number 12 in the playoffs this season? And who's going to take the early points lead into next week at Phoenix? CJ Gates with an issue. One of those mistakes we were talking about. He's going to lose a number of positions. Where he was just passing John Briel. Briel is now 3 trucks ahead of him. Chase Berry all over the back bumper of the 35 of Austin Thomas. Sail off into turn number 1. Nose to tail. 46 is there. Is he able to make the pass in turn 3 and 4? Gets right up to the corner panel. Wheel to wheel action here. Not quite enough momentum to get there. Such a hard racetrack to pass on. Spot defended by the 35. But Philbrick's all over the back bumper of Ronnie Joyner. Joyner with a bit of a mistake off of turn 4. Going to allow the 06 to the inside. And Linz is closed in as well. McPeak fighting Jesse Gordon for 5th. Potential 3 wide. That's not going to work. Philbrick going to get around Joyner. And Linz get around Joyner as well. That would be for the 3rd position. He will clear off of turn number 4. And McPeak was able to clear Jesse Gordon for 5th. Quentin Stewart's playoff hopes are slowly driving away in that black 61. Now 3 trucks ahead. Brent Allen struggling a little further back. Quentin Stewart's PDI teammate back to 18th. Struggling with the handling on that number 13. Foskey and McMurtry battling for 12th. Settled out for the moment. This is the closest battle on the racetrack. 2nd, Marty Phillips trying to get around Jesse Gordon. Not what the 10 wanted to see. Ran up in the top 3 most of the night. He is now sliding back on this. Oh, Quentin Stewart heavy into the outside wall. That might be the move that seals it. He got some help from Chase Berry. Let's go back on the replay and watch it. He got some big time help here. Right on board with Chase Berry. Catches him in the center. Stewart's on the throttle too soon. Yeah, he nailed that wall pretty good. Stewart back to 11th. gap now 6 trucks. Gonna make it 7 here. Once the 29 can complete the pass between McPeak and Stewart. McPeak in 5th, Stewart now 12th. John Breel's on the outside wall. I just saw Clay Nelson just about spin to the inside. Sorry, that was Austin Dowdy almost spun to the inside. Clay Nelson currently running in the 19th position. Keeping it on the racetrack, and that's how you learn. Doing a great job keeping that thing pointed in the right direction. Breel and Dowdy still scrapping for 17th. Gates and McMurchie. Chase Berry has caught Marty Phillips. He is rolling. This 46 has some speed in it. The only truck faster than Chase Berry the last time by was your leader, Daniel Malnix. This 46 is a flamethrower right now. As we work towards 15 laps remaining in the Monster Mile. Delaware's capital. Daniel Malnix leads his biggest lead of the night. About his biggest lead of the night, I should say, about 9/10 of a second. Over a new driver, Ryan Philbrick. Remember, it was Trenton Wilkin for quite a while, the 11. Having a connection issue 25 laps ago, he was within a truck length of the lead. It disappeared. Ryan Philbrick now in second. Will inherit that spot. Carter Lynn's in third. And then another 1 second back to Ronnie Joyner in fourth. Patrick McKeek doing what he needs to do to advance. He is in fifth. Jesse Gordon still in a dogfight with Chase Berry for sixth. Don't count out the 50 or the 35 either. Marty Phillips, Austin Thomas. As this group nose to tail, all trying to get around the 10 of Jesse Gordon. High above this Dover Speedway. See them sail it off into turn number 1. The different lines, but you all end up in the same spot off at turn 2. I can't say enough about this racetrack they used to call White Lightning. Concrete, now the second largest concrete racetrack on NASCAR's schedule, behind, of course, Nashville Super Speedway. Trucks never handle well here. Feels like they're driving on basketballs. As a driver who's definitely feeling that right now is Quentin Stewart. Who you can see from the hands is struggling with the handling. Remember, he hit the wall pretty hard off turn 4. You can see he's wheeling it. Oh, there goes the turn 1 Tsunamis. Number 8 of Austin Dowdy in front of him. Able to save it, hold on to it. Playoff hopes diminishing for driver of the 6. Hate to say it, it's going to take something spectacular. Quentin Stewart, if he's going to be able to make it into the playoffs out of this wild card round. They're not done battling up here. Oh, self-clear for the 35. How did he do that? Chase Berry has got around him. Berry up to the 5th position over Patrick McPeak now. The real fight is Austin Thomas, Jesse Gordon, Marty Phillips. Stephen Legault has turned it around up to the 8th position. I haven't seen him all night. 10 laps to go here from Dover. Good battle back here for 17th as well. Right behind Quentin Stewart, Ferguson and Dowdy. Real as well, right on the back bumper. Oski's going to clear Legault. TJ Gates going to try and get the 83 as well. 48 having some troubles. Brent Allen says thank you very much for the 13th position. Driver number 13. So many battles all over this racetrack. This one will not go away. 5 trucks on top of each other. Off the turn 2 exit, still nose to tail for every one of them. Fan out in turn number 3. And right back together again. On the straightaway, 6 more times around. Foskey blocking McGo. What does the 83 have in store? Can he diamond off the corner and get the good run? I don't think he can. CJ Gates to the inside. Caution's out on the speedway. Caution is out. Austin Dowdy's around. So is John Briel. Oh, this changes everything. This changes everything. You see the 2. Briel just gets in way too deep. Into the side of him. And oh, Dowdy's rolling down the backstretch. Oh, that is not good. That is less than stellar for the driver of the 8. Let's go on board here and replay this. So Dowdy's getting passed by this 21 to Shane Ferguson. Leaves the bottom open. Quinn Stewart's got turned up there as well. And Briel's to the inside right there. And around goes Austin Dowdy. I don't know if Dowdy didn't realize that Briel was there. Let's go back and see it from Briel's onboard. This is from the onboard of the 00 from the nose cam. Back one more time here. I'm curious to see what it looked like, because I don't think that was a wise move. Not really a lot of room there, although Dowdy did leave the bottom open. And right hooked. Yeah, that's a racing incident that those guys are gonna have to sort out after the race. But back here live, Patrick McPeak has stayed on the racetrack. He's going to try and steal one, as we're going to have a green-white checker, the first one of the day. A natural one, in fact. Molnix has won the race off pit road. Fuel only. Carter Linz also fuel only. He will be in 3rd. Philbrick's on the 4 fresh tires. Will he have enough time to pass 3 cars and maybe capture his 2nd win of the season? Ronnie Joyner is 5th, also on 4 fresh ones. Everyone behind these drivers in your top 16 also on 4 fresh tires. This is going to change everything. This could change the state of the playoff picture. This could change who gets wins and who doesn't get wins, as John Briel's truck is destroyed. I don't know why the 00 is not on pit road, but that thing is, the left front is not supposed to point that way. Tough break for John Briel, who's running a good race, doing what he had to do, but maybe a touch overzealous on that move with 5 laps to go. Going to cost him a good finish. Also going to cost Austin Dowdy a good finish. But McPeak's the leader with a little bit of left front damage. Kind of see it right there. It's scraped up a little bit. Not too bad. I don't think that's going to hurt the aero too much on the 61, but he is your leader. And let's break this down. Patrick McPeak, if he's able to finish ahead of Quentin Stewart, who's currently in 10th, he will be in the playoffs for the final 4 races. All right, so that's what he's racing for. Everybody behind him. That includes Daniel Molnix, Carter Linz, Ryan Philbrick, Ronnie Joyner. Those top 5 drivers, they're racing for the playoffs. They're in the playoffs currently. So is, well, Marty Phillips is leaving the playoffs. Jesse Gordon, among a few others, trying to get those points to separate themselves in the playoff picture. Because if we look at the points as they started the race, we'll see that the gap between 1st and 12th, which would be 11th, is only 13 points. So it is incredibly close between all these drivers. You want every point you can get, and this is a position to gain and lose a lot of points as we look forward to Phoenix next week. And only 3 races after that one. Kansas, Vegas, and Dega to wrap up the season. So 4 more after this race, and they're all racing for these little trophies that the CEO, Quentin Stewart, has graciously created with this 3D printer. You get one for every race win at every different racetrack. It's got the name of the racetrack etched in the bottom of it. The time for pleasantries is over. Pace truck is off the racetrack. McPeak on the high line. He's the control truck. Molnick's on the bottom. Into the restart zone for hopefully the final time tonight. Green flag is out, and it's a stellar start for the 61. He's going to clear to the bottom. But Molnick's all over the back bumper. Remember, no tires for the top 3. 3 wide off the corner, big crash. Phillips, Lynn's involved. Caution is out. There will be a second green-white checker. That is not what Carter Lynn's wanted to see. Oh my goodness. We got one more shot at it. What happened here? Marty Phillips. That truck is also destroyed. It all started with the 46, way on the high side. I don't think either of those drivers knew he was there. He just powered it up. He powered it up to the top line. And it made a contact with Carter Lynn's, got him sideways and into the 50. Around they both go. Let's ride on board from the 46, who's now up to the 5th position. I wouldn't say the 46 did anything wrong per se. Just another one of those racing incidents here at Dover. The unfortunate situation though was Carter Lynn's just lost about 12 points out of that kerfluffle, if you will. Remember, he came in, he was 2nd in points. He is now going to be well behind the 8 ball here after Dover. 4 more races to get back to where he was, and even 1 spot farther up the field. He's going to win the championship here in the QSR Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series. McPeak has to nail 1 more restart. Before he does that, let's talk about how green-white checkers work. Saw one last night in the VSRL ARCA Series here on V-Speed. But for those of you who are unaware, we just had one here. When the caution comes out within about 5 laps of the checker, in order to try and make the race end under green, they set up a final restart with a green flag lap to the white flag, which signifies the last lap of the race. Then they come around on the white flag lap to capture the checkered flag. If, like on this past restart, we do not get to the white flag, this caution happened out of turn 2 about half a lap early, then we re-rack them and do it again for a maximum of 2 tries, this being the 2nd try. That first one was not a natural green-white checker. Now, this time, if a caution comes out before the white flag, that will end the race. If the white flag comes out, whatever the next flag is will also end the race, whether it be yellow or checker. So all Patrick McPeak has to do is get an excellent launch into turn number 1, hold off the hard-charging number 2, and especially the hard-charging 06 of Ryan Philbrick with those fresh tires, and see if he can steal one here in Dover. And that about sets it up. Let's do a little housekeeping. Drivers out of the race. Starting in 18th, Austin Thomas has left the session in the 35. Austin Dowdy as well in 19th. Trenton Wilkin in 20th. Remember the disconnect issue for him. Tyler Autry in the 81 had some steering damage. He will finish 21st. Christian Rodrigo will finish in 22nd. Reed Sanders in 23rd. Ethan Wisnowski will finish in 24th tonight, about 96 or so laps down. He's been on pit road for almost an hour, which has got to be a frustrating feeling for driver of the 5. We are now 1 to green. Your top 15 back to Carter Lins, who just involved in the caution, are on the lead lap. John Briel and Marty Phillips are both 2 laps down on pit road. May come out on the racetrack, may not. Not a ton to race for either of those drivers in this race. Chase Berry now going to be the last driver on the lead lap. I believe he will take the caution charge from race control Mike Petrin. Got to thank him for everything he does, keeping this league as clean as it can be. Choosing to spend his Tuesday nights assigning blame rather than driving the truck. All the power to him. Appreciate everything he does for us here on V-Speed and here the QSR Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series. Let's see if we can finish this thing off in style. Pace truck is off for the final time tonight. McPeak the control truck once again. Molnick's on the bottom. Who's going to get the good launch this time? Into the restart zone. McPeak goes. And he goes better than the 2 into the outside wall. Here comes Ronnie Joyner. Joyner to the inside. He's going to turn McPeak. McPeak's going to get shoved out of line. Ronnie Joyner takes the lead. Where is Quentin Stewart? Quinn Stewart is going to be right behind McPeak. It's going to be so close for who's going to get this final playoff spot. There it is. He gets into the back of him. Stewart's around as well. Caution is out on the racetrack. This is going to be a photo finish. Ronnie Joyner is your leader. They race back to the flag. Joyner the leader. Molnix is second. Single file out for the rest of the field. The checkered flag is out, and your winner is Ronnie Joyner. Wow. Oh my goodness. But the battle for the final transfer spot, it's going to be Patrick McPeak by 0.7 of a second. We'll go back and watch the finish. But Joyner was able to get the win here tonight. Goodness gracious. Molnick second, Philbrick in third. Well, let's go back here and see if we can find Quinn Stewart, Patrick McPeak coming to the checker. So this is the caution, right? There's the 6. Trying to chase down the 61. Remember, 61's on old tires. Quentin Stewart has got a hand full of steering wheel. He tries to chase him down, but the damage too much. Simply not enough to go get him. He wrecks out of turn 4 in the playoffs, about 0.7 of a second short for Quentin Stewart. Unbelievable stuff here at Dover. And that was the QSR Simulations Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series. The Sanders Racing 120. What a thriller. We'll be back right after a minute of commercials to bring you your race results and interviews with your top 3, Ronnie Joyner, Daniel Molnix, and Ryan Philbrick. Be back in just a few.
Here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The ball gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
After a thriller here at Dover, the results of the Sanders Motorsports 120 look like this. Ronnie Joyner able to steal the win away from Patrick McPeak on the final restart. Daniel Molnick's going to finish in the second spot. Those two drivers swapping the positions that they started in. Ryan Philbrick in third, Jesse Gordon fourth, and Jason Foskey works his way up to the fifth position. Brent Allen, we saw that driver outside the top 10 most of the race. The final restart worked out for him. He finishes in the sixth position. Stephen Mago in seventh. Derek McMurtry was eighth. Clay Nelson with a top 10 after running around the last position for most of this race. Terrific finish for driver 34. Finished all the laps, and Carter Lynn's able to rebound to 10th after the late race spin. Patrick McPeak restarted first, and 2 laps later found himself 11th, but still is going to make the playoffs next week. Quentin Stewart unfortunately came up about 0.7 of a second short of making the playoffs to Patrick McPeak. He will finish in the 12th position. Shane Ferguson in 13th. CJ Gates matching the car number in 14th, last driver on the lead lap. Chase Berry going to finish in the 15th spot. John Briel 2 laps down in 16th. Marty Phillips, after that late race incident, finishes 17th. Austin Thomas 18th. Austin Dowdy in 19th. Trenton Wilkin left 47 laps early with an internet connection issue. He will finish 20th in the race. The final 5 are Tyler Autry, Christian Rodrigo, Reed Sanders, Ethan Wisnowski, and of course, our race control, Mike Petrin, making sure that everything stays clean and green up in the booth. That is how your field looks after 117 laps at Dover. But now let's go trackside and chat with your top 3. Starting off with third place, Ryan Philbrick. Ryan, it's Morgan up in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know how you felt about this race, but you hung around that top 5 pretty much the whole thing. Had a shot at the end, came up just a few short. Why don't you just kind of talk me through the last half of the race? Right after the pit stop, what's going through your mind? What do you have to do? And how well did you execute what your plan was?
I executed pretty well because my plan was hopefully not get wrecked and still get a top 3
Success.
at that point. Yeah, so I'm feeling good about that, which almost happened. So, I mean, the scare factor was definitely there, but it wasn't much of a plan until, after the restart, seeing what panned out. McPete stayed out, and I knew that was going to be weird. So it was going to be, a strange restart to see how that pan out and come out of 2 and see, what the deal was. And then after that restart, starting behind Daniel, I felt a little better. And Ronnie made a hell of a move on the outside. I haven't get to watch it from outside the car yet, but from my view, it looked pretty crazy. Hats off to him. That was awesome. Congrats to him. But I was just mad the caution came out. That was took all the air out of my balloon for sure.
Yeah, definitely shook it up there with 5 laps to go. I mean, that's when you're talking about that 5 lap to go.
Yeah,
Caution.
the green flag run. I think it's 5 or 6 to go. I mean, I knew I probably wasn't passing Daniel. He's good enough, but I had second pretty well wrapped up, and then that came out. I was like, this changes everything. But that's racing, right?
Right. You can't count a finish until the checkered flag waves, of course.
No, but it's still demoralizing for sure.
For sure. I mean,
you're like, oh, here we go again. You know what I mean?
Lucky for you, you only lost the 1 spot. Could be be worse, but
yeah. I'm very happy with that.
Right on. Well, let's talk about that final restart. You had mentioned you were behind Molnick's. He was obviously not the control car. Is there anything you can do as essentially starting in fourth because you're the driver behind the non-control car? Anything you can do differently to try and get an advantage versus those other three that you're restarting around?
Me, as my style, no, because I'm not pushing it three wide like and wrecking everybody. I got a decent restart. Daniel took two, I believe. He might have, I was right on his bumper. Like, didn't I think I might have saw that it said I made contact. So at that point, I've done everything I can. You know what I mean? I got everything out of my restart. I'm pinched down low, so pretty much just hanging on and seeing how it pans out from there. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do nothing crazy and try to dive bomb Daniel when there's a guy to his outside, especially when I saw Ronnie go there. It's not especially Dover. It's so hard to pass. You want to push it three wide. That's not gonna end well. I didn't want to be the one to wreck everybody in front of the whole field. So
Yeah, good call there. Probably kept yourself in the top three by doing that. Probably
yeah,
could have caught an EOL caution or an EOL charge as well if you
yeah,
were to
we don't
force it
like
three
those.
wide. Definitely the right decision. But third place still got to feel all right for you here tonight. Who do you want to
Definitely.
thank or shout out for the third place finish?
My teammates, Bad Company Motorsports, everybody in the league. It's a great league. All the admins, QSRs, anybody's looking to join an awesome league, they should definitely look this way. Via you guys, B Speed for putting it on. That's about it.
Right on. Well, thank you for your time, Ryan, and look forward to many more interviews here in the V Speed booth. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That's your third place finisher tonight, Ryan Philbrick. On to the second place finisher tonight, Daniel Malnex. I got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
So I don't know if this one stings a little bit or if you're just happy for your teammate and you avoided the last lap chaos. But 75 laps led tonight from the pole, come up one spot short. What's going through your head right now?
It's like you said. I mean, I'm glad to see Ronnie win, but at the same time, I mean, it's tough whenever you lead. Would you say 75 laps
75, yep.
and come up short because of something stupid that happened in the back of the field? Um, I mean, I did everything I could. Um, I assumed everybody was going to hit pit road because we've been out there forever. But I took two, and I think I think he took two, and then everybody behind him took four.
Right, yep.
But I didn't see anybody staying out, so I didn't have control of the restart, and so then it was just you know not jumping to start. But pick McPeak. I think he was gonna pretty much stack the field up a little bit because he was on no tires.
Right.
So I think he spun him a little bit, and that last restart, I mean, I even spun him right there, and yeah, I just couldn't. I was able to get by McPeak, but Ronnie, he was on four tires. There was no way I was getting to him. So yeah, glad to see him win, but sucks that it had to be a race that I led so much of.
The good news for you, I imagine you will still be the points leader after this. Came in here the points
Mhm.
leader. On to
Yep.
Phoenix next week, a track I imagine you're probably pretty good at. Another mile and a half another mile racetrack. Sorry, although
Mhm.
definitely nothing like this one. The same length. That's about the only thing that's the same about Dover and Phoenix. What can you take away from this race as a positive moving into next week?
I mean, the speed's there. It's been there all year. Just consistency at this point. It's just being consistent at the front of the field. Uh, Try not to get any bad finishes. Don't get caught up in any wrecks or anybody else's mess. Just keep the fenders on it and shoot for I don't know, shoot for top threes every week.
Honorable mission accomplished tonight, coming home in the second spot. Anyone you want to shout out or thank for the second place finish here at Dover?
I want to thank you guys for putting this on. All the admin team, QSR, everybody at Venom. We tried a few things in practice, and definitely on the qualifying side, it worked. Me and Ronnie took the front row, and the race setup I was hoping would just be good enough, and it was actually a little bit better than that, which I was somewhat surprised. So, yeah, everybody out at Venom. I mean, we were trying different things, and what works, what works, and that's it.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work, as they say.
Yeah,
And
yeah, sure
clearly
does.
working 1-2 finish here tonight. Thank you for your time, Daniel. Congratulations on second place, and we'll catch you next week in Phoenix.
All right, thank you. See you next week.
All right, that's your second place finisher tonight, Daniel Malnix. Now to the top step of the podium, his teammate, Ronnie Joyner. Ronnie, Morgan up in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Well, here we stand in victory lane for the 24 machine. Started second, led 30 of these laps here tonight. I think the big question is, how did you do that final restart? How did you time it so you were able to get to the back bumper and to the quarter panel of Patrick McPeak by turn 1?
I had a little bit of clutch in there and helped me launch that truck really good. Got a really good launch and got up underneath them in turn 1 and came down the block, and it didn't turn into a big wreck, so that was good. So really good launch, so, and really good restarts and really good short run speed. Didn't have nothing on the long run, but had really good short run speed.
Yeah, we did see this 24 fade a couple times throughout the night, but it doesn't matter when it's a 3-lap shootout to the end. And I believe you're probably one of the few drivers who was pleased to see that caution come out with 6 laps to go.
Oh yes, we were very pleased when we were back in the game and ready to dig off there, and was fortunate to get the win there. We've been close all season and finally sealed the deal when it matters.
Right on. So this is going to, well, I mean, there are no more rounds in this playoff the way that it works, but this should vault you near the points lead. I would think you'd probably get within a couple of your teammate Daniel Malnix, as Carter Linz had some pretty big trouble tonight. He ended up finishing in the 10th spot after that spin on the first overtime attempt. But just what's going through your mind right now? How pleased are you to finally get the monkey off your back and finally get that first win this season?
Feels really good to get the monkey off the back, and really looking forward to the next couple races there. Excited tracks, and it's going to be some good racing, and just looking forward to racing next Tuesday.
Right on. Give me a preview of Phoenix real quick.
I think Phoenix is going to be tight. I think it's going to be 2 lanes. It's going to be able to work it, and if it goes green, it's going to be a tire management thing. And then if it does stay green the whole race, you maybe look for a short pitter there to make it work, and might be able to make it happen there and make it win. So a lot of stuff going into Phoenix to think about. So it's going to be a great race.
Right on. That's an excited Ronnie Joyner looking ahead at Phoenix after getting that first win of the season. Who do you want to shout out and thank?
Shout out to V-Speed and you for putting the broadcast on, the QSR team, and Venom Motorsports. I think this is going to put us even higher in the team championship points. So that's really good. And just thank all the guys that make this happen on Tuesday nights. It's been really fun.
Right on. Well, thank you for your time, Ronnie, and enjoy the win. Enjoy the week, because you get to keep this winter trophy when it eventually reaches your house here from Quentin Stewart. Nice little keepsake for defeating Miles the Monster.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You bet. All right, that's Ronnie Joyner, your winner here tonight. We'll see you next week at Phoenix.
All right.
All right. That is going to do it for our post-race interviews. That's going to do it for our broadcast here tonight. The QSR Simulations Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series. Sanders Racing 120 here at the Dover Motor Speedway. We're going to look on to next week at the Phoenix Raceway, PIR. See out in the desert who will be the fastest of these trucks. That'll set up the stage for Kansas, Las Vegas, and Talladega to round out your season and determine your champion. If you enjoyed what you saw tonight, I've been Morgan Cook here on V-Speed. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification icon so you don't miss a moment of the racing action you can't get anywhere else. QSR Simulations Tuesday Night Thunder Truck Series exclusive here on V-Speed all season long. And for everybody at QSR, Mike Petrin, Race Control, Quentin Stewart, all the Venom Motorsports guys for helping organize this series this season. Appreciate all of them, as well as Austin Dowdy, Ethan Wisnowski, all the other admins if I'm missing any. I got to thank everyone at V-Speed as well. Bradley Cooper, Eddie Smith, Adam Baker, Logan Threlkeld, all the other broadcasters and producers that do this thing and make it go round. Like I said, I've been Morgan Cook. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time here on V-Speed.